Hey yo, what is going on guys? Starlight William Magician here, back with another deck profile. And in this video I will be showing you my main Dark Magician Girl deck. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe and comment what you think you want to see next. And with that, let's get into the video. So first of all, I play 3 copies of my signature, my card, Dark Magician Girl, who has the effect of gain 300 attack for each Dark Magicians in either player's graveyard, which is a great effect against a mirror match, or it would also be great against my good friend Dark Magician 84, as he's also a Dark Magician player. I play 3 copies of Berry Magician Girl, one of your main normal summons in this deck, because this card's effect is when this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand. Then once per turn, during either player's turn, when an opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card for an attack, you can change this card's battle position, and if you do, special summon 1 Dark Magician Girl from your deck, except Berry Magician Girl, which this card is literally great for getting out your main monster, the Dark Magician Girl. Then I play 1 copy of Chocolate Magician Girl, because Chocolate Magician Girl has a brilliant effect of, once per turn, you can send 1 spellcaster monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 1 card. Then once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can target 1 spellcaster monster in your graveyard, except Chocolate Magician Girl, special summon it, and then if you do, the monster that's attacking has its monster change. So say for instance you summon Chocolate Magician Girl, and then someone attacks into her, you can say for instance you can summon your Dark Magician Girl, then the attack changes from chocolate to dark. Then I play 1 Apple Magician Girl. Apple Magician Girl is brilliant in this deck because of her effect, which is once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon 1 level 5 or lower spellcaster monster from your hand, then change the attacking target to it, which has a similar effect to Chocolate Magician Girl, because once again, if you wanted to, you can just go from apple to chocolate, or if you wanted to, say for instance, do any other combo, but in my opinion, I like to go for the apple to dark or the chocolate Dark Magician Girl. And I play 1 copy of Lemon Magician Girl. Once per turn, you can contribute 1 Magician Girl except Lemon Magician Girl, then add 1 spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand. Then once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon 1 spellcaster monster from your hand, but its effects, if any are negated, then change the attack target to it, which wouldn't be a problem if you went for Dark Magician Girl, because I mean she has a good effect, don't get me wrong, but getting another monster on the field will make it a lot easier for you to go into your fusion summons. Then for the last Magician Girl monster, I play Kiwi, because of course you've got to play all the Magician Girls in the Magician Girl deck. But Kiwi's effect is, during either player's turn, you can discard this card. Then all Magician Girl monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense for each Magician Girl monster in the with different names in your graveyard. And if you do, until the end of the turn, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. Which is just a really good card to power up your Dark Magician Girl, because a lot of the times you'll have these in the graveyard because there's a card which allows you to. So I do run 1 fusion in this deck. So if you wanted to go into, say, 5, that spellcaster that lets you send 5 spellcasters to the graveyard, you can send all these to the graveyard, and then when you get Kiwi, you'll have 3 or 4 different types of spellcasters in your grave at a time. Then I play 2 copies of Dark Magician. I play 1 Apprentice Illusion Magician. Because Apprentice Illusion Magician has the effect of you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 card. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. And then during the damage calculation, if your other Dark Spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face up to the field to the graveyard. And that monster gets 2000 attack, which is a great power up for your Dark Magician in case your opponent has like a big boss monster on the field which you can't get over. Then I play 1 copy of Paladin Oracle Mahad, which Mahad just has the effect of when you draw this card from the top of your deck on your draw phase, you can special summon it instantly, and if it's destroyed, you can special summon 1 Dark Magician from your hand, deck, or grave, which is a really good effect. Now I play 1 Paladin Oracle Mana, because mana has the effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets 1 spellcaster monster you control, and no other cards with this card is in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use the effect of Paladin Oracle Mana once per turn. If a level 7 or higher spellcaster monster you control, or level 7 or higher spellcaster monsters cannot be destroyed by your card effects. Now if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or grave, which the end bit shares the same effect as Mahad, but it's Dark Magician Girl instead of Dark Magician, which I think is a really great addition to this deck. Now I play 1 Timaeus the United Dragon, which is just a walking polymerization, because you can send 1 spellcaster monster or 1 spell trap that mentions Dark Magician from your hand, or face up to the field to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Then during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control from your hand or field as material, including level 4 spellcaster monster. You can only use the effect of Timaeus the United Dragon once per turn. Which, this card is just it's just great for getting into like half your extra deck, because this is like a 1, you can get into Dragoon, or you can get into Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, or Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight. Like, it's just a lot of targets this card has for any extra deck. Then of course I play the 3 copies of Magician's Rod. Again, another normal summon you need in this deck because of this card's effect, which is when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except, well, that specifically this Dark Magician is text. Then if you activate a spell trap card while this card is in your graveyard, during your damage step, you can tribute 1 spellcaster monster to add this card back from your hand. So say for instance you've got like a dead card on the field which is no longer in use, and then you activate a spell card, you can tribute it off and you can add this card back for when your turn happens again. You can then use it to search for a spell trap that relates to Dark Magician. Then I play 3 copies of Magician's Soul, because of Magician's Soul's effect. You can send up to 2 spellcaster monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw that many cards. If this card's in your hand, you can send 1 level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard to activate one of these effects. You can special summon this card, or you can send 1 Dark Magician or 1 Dark Magician Girl from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can send this card to the graveyard to special summon that Dark Magician or that Dark Magician Girl, which is just a 1-turn Dark Magician or 1-turn Dark Magician Girl. Then last for the monsters, I play 2 copies of Keeper of Dragon Magic. Really great card in this deck because it can search for a polymerization or a normal fusion card, which you do run quite a few of in this deck. That is it for the monsters. Let us get into the spells. For the spell cards, I play one copy of Magician's Salvation, which is a really great field spell card because when you activate this card, you can set an Eternal Soul straight from your deck. And also, if a Dark Magician is normal summoned and you have Dark Magician Girl in your graveyard, you can special summon Dark Magician Girl. Or it works the opposite way around. If you have Dark Magician in the graveyard and you special summon Dark Magician Girl, you can grab Dark Magician Girl from the graveyard and just instantly special summon her. I'm going to play Bond between teacher and students because you have a target in this deck for it. Which Bond between teacher and students effect is if you control Dark Magician, special summon Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, and or grave, then you can set one Dark Magician. Then you set one Dark Magic attack, one Dark Burning attack, one Dark Burning Magic, or one Dark Magic Twin Burst. Which brings us to our next card, which is your target for Dark teacher between Bond between teacher and student, which is your Dark Burning Magic. Which Dark Burning Magic is if you control a Dark Magician Girl, destroy all monsters. If you control a Dark Magician Girl monster, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls, which is the Dark Magician Girl equivalent of a Regeki in this deck. Then I play one Secrets of Dark Magic. Secrets of Dark Magic has the effect of you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand build, including Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl as fusion material, which is really great because it is a quick play spell. So if you set it, you can attack and possibly you can OTK your opponents. Then I play the one copy of Polymerization, and I play the one copy of Magicalized Fusion, which, as we all know, Polymerization has the effect of you can fusion summon monsters from your hand or your side of the field. And then Magicalized Fusion is you can fusion summon one spellcaster monster by banishing the fusion materials listed from your field or graveyard. Then of course I play the two copies of Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle has the effect of when this card is activated, you can look at the top three cards of your deck, and then you can grab one card, or then you can grab Dark Magician or one spell trap card that specifically lists Dark Magician as text. You can grab it and then you can put it back in any order of the three you put back on top. Now, if Dark Magician is normal or special summon while this card is on the field, you can activate this card's effect to banish one card your opponent controls. Then you can play. Then I play 3 copies of Soul Servant. Soul Servant is a great card because you place one card on top of your deck from your hand, deck, or graveyard. That is Dark Magician, or that mentions Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text, except Soul Servant. And then during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, draw cards equal to the number of Paladin monsters or Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl monsters with different names on the field and or graveyards, which in this deck you have one of each. So you have Dark Magician Girl, and the Paladin monsters, which is an easy 4-card draw, especially if you use this card, Future Fusion, because Future Fusion makes this card so much easier to draw cards with. Because Future Fusion's effect is during your first standby phase, after this card's activation, show one fusion monster from your extra deck and send the fusion materials listed from your main deck to the graveyard. During your second standby phase, after this card's activation, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck with the same name as monsters as you showed and target it with this card Then when this card leaves the field, destroy the Fusion Summon card, which you would normally grab your copy of Quintet Magician, as Quintet Magician's requirements are 5 spellcaster monsters. Then that is it for the spells. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, I only play 2 trap cards, which are Eternal Soul. Which Eternal Soul has the effect of every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Now if this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. You can only activate the effect of Eternal Soul once per turn. So the effect of Eternal Soul is you can special summon Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, or you can add 1 Dark Magic attack over 1,000 knives from your deck to your hand, which I do not have any in this deck, so you wouldn't normally use the second effect, but you'd use the first effect quite a lot. That is it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. So, for the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Quintet Magician. Quintet Magician not only is a 4,500 beat stick monster, it also has the effect of if you use 5 different spellcaster monsters to fusion summon this card, you can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls, which is just a great field wipe for your opponent. Then you play 2 copies of Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, which she has the effect of must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials, which is a dragon monster or a Dark Magician Girl. And then it says must be fusion summoned with the above fusion material or the Eye of Timaeus. Then once per turn, quick effect, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a really great effect in this for this deck. Now, of course, I played a 1 copy of Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Dark Magician the Dragon Knight has the effect of this card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field and graveyard, which you can use Eternal Soul to keep bringing it back whenever it gets destroyed. And then your opponent cannot target spell track cards you control with by effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So, say you have Eternal Soul on your field. Eternal Soul's effect, Dark Magicians cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, so that can't be destroyed. And then with this card's effect, spell track cards that mention Dark Magician can't be destroyed. So, these 2 help each other out, so none of these can be destroyed as long as these are on the field. Then I play the 1 Dark Cavalry, and then the 1 copy of the Dark Magicians. The Dark Magicians is a brilliant card in this deck because once per turn, if a spell / trap card is activated during either player's turn, quick effect, you can draw a card, and then if this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Dark Magician and 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, and or graveyard. So it's a powerful card with 2800 attack, and then if it goes, you have Dark Magician Girl on your field as well. Then of course I play Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, because not only is Dark Dragoon a negate, whenever it negates something, it gains 1000 attack. So which normally you would only get 1 negate out of this, depending on what you use to fusion summon it. Then for the links, I play 1 Link Spider, the 1 Artemis, and then 1 Black Lost Soldier of Chaos. That is it for my Dark Magician Girl. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.